began a series of 4 legal segments on Medicaid planning. We discussed gifting assets to protect them for your future needs while getting Medicaid benefits. These benefits are very important to folks who can't otherwise afford to pay for the catastrophic cost of nursing home care. As long as you plan properly, you can gift assets to qualify for Medicaid. However, how do you make sure that your gifted assets remain available for you if you don't own them anymore? If you missed the segment on gifting or our other Medicaid segments, you can view those again on our Golden Opportunities YouTube channel. But this vital topic is called Protected. And my ever-protective law partner, Mike Solomon, is here to discuss protection of your gifted assets.
Hi, Lori.
So before we get into protection, let's review the gifting rules real quickly.
Okay, so if you give away your assets to anyone other than your spouse and then apply for Medicaid, they're going to look back 5 years, is the look-back rule. And if they look back 5 years, they see a gift, they're going to make you pay for your long-term care coverage for the period of time they think you gave money away that covers that. So, for example, let me say that better. Let's say you give away $50,000. The average cost, according to Ohio Medicaid, is $6,327. So they divide that into 50,000. That turns out to be around 8. So for 8 months, you have to pay for your own long-term care costs.
Okay. And you told us that gifts can be pretty much anything you want to, even though the IRS and other laws may actually be different than what Medicaid does.
Right. You don't have to worry about the IRS laws and any of this. So you can give away money, and if you can get past that 5-year period, you can qualify for Medicaid, but then you have other issues. You're giving away money to your children or grandchildren, and they have money.
So what are some of the ways that people can give away money and protect it too?
Well, that's number one. You can give away money to someone who's going to inherit your money anyway, your children or grandchildren. But the problem is, you give away money to them, it's their money. So if you give it away to your children, and some bad things might happen. Now, hopefully your children will use the money for your benefit, but maybe you give it to the wrong child, and that child's a spendthrift, and they spend all your money, or your child has a creditor problem, and the creditors will get the money, or your child might get a divorce, and then half of that money go to your daughter-in-law or son-in-law. Or even, bad thing happened, your child passes away prior to you. Their estate planning document probably says the money goes to their spouse or their children, and those people might not have the same interest to help you. Yeah,
well, you said, gifts to kids can be good, but how do you protect against all these risks you talked about?
Well, there's several ways. One way would be is maybe to put the money in what's called a limited liability company. This gives your money some protection, some shield from all these bad things that I talked about. So, for example, if you put it in an LLC, a limited liability company, your kids still have the money. They ultimately control it. They can pull the money out of the LLC and give it to you if you need it. But it may protect it if they have a creditor problem or they get a divorce or all those other bad things I said. So it's a way to protect your money.
How about any other options?
Well, there's several. Another one that is called an irrevocable Medicaid trust. And this is a trust. You put the money in the trust, and you don't, unlike a normal estate planning trust you may hear of, you don't get the income or the principal from it. So this money, all the income and the principal, is for the benefit of your kids. It's irrevocable. You can't change it. The idea is they'll pull the money out if they need it and give it to you if you need it. So it gives you additional protection. Now, the LLC and the trust, they're all complicated documents, and there's a whole complicated area. So I advise people, to sit down with a certified elder law attorney, make sure you know what you're doing and what they're doing.
All right, great advice. If you decide to gift assets for future Medicaid eligibility, you need to be sure you take the proper steps to protect your assets as well. There are many options, and we only had time to touch on a few. For more information, give Mike a call. The number is coming up next.
Call Solomon, Steiner, and Peck at 1-888-236-5173 for more information or to schedule a speaker for your organization. Or log on to www.ssandplaw.com.